All right, so we're going to look at first and third. All right, so our first and third plays are numbered 1 through 6, and they go by either the position that's getting thrown to, or they go by the base that's being thrown to. Okay, so they should make sense in actually what's going on, what's the most important part of the play. So play one, position one is the pitcher. So play one, we're throwing the ball to the pitcher. Okay, and we want to make it look like it's being thrown to second base. So anytime we want this runner to come off of third base, both the middle infielders are going to go to the bag. So we're going to have one backing up, and we're going to have one covering the bag. That way, this guy thinks that there's no cut man. So in baseball, the cut man right here is going to be the one who throws you out at the plate. So runners, remember that. Okay, so we run this play. We'll run play one just kind of as a change up to everything else. Run it very, very few times, maybe once in the last 3 years. All right, but you still got to be ready for it. So play one is going to be a throw back to the pitcher. So on the steal, of course, first baseman, like always, is yelling going. Outfielders, you are going to get into position to where you back up all the bags. All right, so the catcher is going to throw pretty much a head-high ball to the pitcher, looking like he's throwing straight down to second base. And the pitcher immediately is going to look at this guy at third base. Okay, so if he gets like one step off, we should be able to catch and throw him out. That's how it usually ends up. You might have a situation where the guy takes off. If the guy takes off, then you're going to throw to the plate. And then everybody gets in their rundown positions, which we'll go over once we get into practice and start going pickoffs, rundowns, and everything else. So that's play one, throw back to the pitcher. All right, play two means throwing to second base. Okay, so just think of it that way. We're throwing all the way through. So we're going to run this play when if we see a team that doesn't send the guy at third base a lot. Okay, which teams do that a lot? They'll just send this guy to steal and have this guy sit here thinking that we're not going to throw all the way down. Or we're going to run this when we're way ahead or way behind. We could care less what the score is. All right, so hopefully we're way ahead. So on play two, we're throwing the ball all the way down. Now, we do want this guy to stay at third base now. So this is where the second baseman has to know that on play two, you're coming in here to cut. Now, you can't fake that you catch it. You can't fake a throw or anything like that. That's it. That's illegal. So on this, now the shortstop is covering. Second baseman's coming in like he's going to run play four, which is our cut play. So same thing, the guy's going. Okay, second baseman should be on this side of second base. So on this, we're throwing all the way down, and it does not matter. Okay, so it does not matter at all unless it's like really late and we can get both of these guys out, which I've seen before. Even if this guy yells going, okay, shortstop, you are still making this play and getting this guy out. All right, so again, way ahead, way behind, or we know this guy's not going to run is really why we're running play two. So all the way to second base is two. All right, play three, okay, means you're going to look at second. I'm sorry, you're going to fake at second and throw to third. So three stands for third base. All right, so on this one, okay, we actually want this guy to come off a little bit. So again, middle infielders, you're going to cover the bag. All right, so we're going to make this look like we're throwing it all the way down. So on this, same thing. Okay, so he's stealing. We're yelling going. No cut man. Catcher's going to come up, make a great fake, okay, and then throw down to third base. Most of the time, you're going to throw down to third base, okay? There will be times, like Pioneer will do this sometimes, they'll just take off. And if that happens, then, you make a good fake and then turn and run at the guy. So it all depends. So three stands for third base. So the ball's probably going to be thrown to third base because what's going to happen on this, you're going to make a pump fake to second. This guy's going to take like 2 or 3 hard steps in, okay? And then once he sees that you haven't thrown the ball, he's going to start going back to third base. So it's going to be a bang, bang play at third base. That's what it's going to be most of the time. All right, so play four. 4 now stands for the position. So 4 is the second baseman. Okay, so this is the play that we're going to run 99% of the time. So this is the one that we practice the most. This is the one that we've got to get right. Because on this one, you can get both of them out. This is the play that we need to run. This is the play that we have to run. So this is our cut play. And of course, on this one, the second baseman is going to come in and cut. Shortstop is going to go to the bag. Shortstop has got to be ready for the ball. Okay, I've seen it a million times where he thinks the guy's going to cut it. Even if you hear going all these other things, you expect the ball. So you're watching the ball the whole time. So on this, okay, the guy steals. Second baseman should be on the other side. Okay, catcher's going to come up and he's got to throw it through the head of the second baseman. That way, if we don't cut it, okay, so if we don't cut it, it goes all the way to the shortstop. Most of the time, they're going to run on this. So people are taught that if the ball crosses the pitcher's head, that you run no matter what. A lot of people will take off as soon as the catcher throws the ball. So this has got to be quick. So the second baseman comes in, gets himself in position to throw the ball already. Catcher throws pretty much through the second baseman's head. That way, if he doesn't go, it goes all the way to the shortstop. Okay. And from here, the second baseman's got to get rid of it, and throw the guy out at the plate, because most of the time that guy's going to take off on the cut play. Okay. So that's number 4. Again, make sure you understand that that's going to be the play that we run the most. 5, we skipped, okay, because 5, I don't think I've ever called it. But 5, what you end up doing is the catcher comes up, all right, and 5 stands for peeking at the third baseman. So don't worry about 6 right now, but 5 means the catcher actually peeks at third base, but throws all the way down to second base. All right, so we don't run it enough for me to actually put it on the PowerPoint. All right, but this one we have run before. This is a situation where you might not have the best second baseman, or the guy that you need there at the time. So what ends up happening is you just switch. This is what a lot of other teams run. So most of the time, your strongest arm guy is at short. And the reason is because he's making a longer throw than second baseman. Your weaker arm guys at second base. We haven't really been in this situation too many times. All right, so the shortstop is now going to switch, and he's going to be the cut man, and then the second baseman's actually going to cover second base. Okay, he's got to have the same as what the shortstop. He's got to expect the ball the whole time. So now the roles are just reversed. Everything else is the same. So instead of the second baseman being the cut man, which is what we want to run, which we're going to run this year, the shortstop is actually the cut man. This is what a lot of JVs and freshman teams will run, is play 6. So stealing, going. Now the shortstop is taking the place of the second baseman. Outfielders, you're doing the same thing. You're backing up. Okay, as the ball goes, okay, third baseman should be yelling going. Shortstop now. The reason why you don't run this as much is because the shortstop is just not in the right position. He's got to kind of turn his body completely compared to the second baseman. Second baseman can see the guy at third. Second baseman's coming across with his chest towards the guy at third, already in a great position to throw the ball. Shortstop got to come in and spin a lot of times and throw, because we do want him to try and get into that same spot the second baseman was. That way, if he doesn't go at third base, then we throw the ball all the way through, just like we would normally. Some teams will play it where they just throw the ball to the shortstop. It does a lot of times at third base. If you're a runner at third base, it does look like they're throwing all the way down to second base. So that's why they run it that way. But we're going to try and run it if we have to, which I don't think we'll have to, with the shortstop coming in just like the second baseman. Okay, just got to cheat up a little bit. You got to know that you got to get there quick. Okay, and that's first and third. So remember, they go by the numbers. So 6, again, real simple. 6 is the shortstop's number, so that's why it's called play 6.